I wanted to show you how you can automate RFP process and bring in generative AI to accelerate it with GPTfy. So here I am in a Salesforce org. I have a custom object for RFP, and I've already created an RFP record. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to associate an existing PDF I have of the RFP itself. And it could have been a Word document or Excel. In this case, I'm just using a PDF. So I have added the PDF file. Let's take a look. So it's just a standard RFP for an AI solution for Salesforce, and it has a bunch of questions about, hey, do you do this? Do you do this? So it has about 23 questions. And what we will do next is we are going to run this prompt that is basically going to extract all the questions and create these requirements out of it. So I'm going to do this, and what GPTfy lets me do is it lets me parse files. So I'm going to attach this PDF file, and I'm going to hit run GPTfy. And what happens now is that this file is sent to AI, where data is extracted, and it's going to generate out a JSON for us, a JavaScript object notation format. And the idea is that we can then take it and create all of these records. So what you can see now is that this JSON has been extracted and it has pulled out all the questions. So you're looking at the nicely formatted version here, and you can see I have name, I have requirement, I have a category, I have the related RFP, and so on. And what if I go further down here is the JSON version of it. So GPTfy has automatically updated a field for me with all of the information that was in the PDF. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click a button here to generate RFP requirements. And it's going to take all of this JSON here, and it's essentially going to automatically create all the RFP requirements for me. So let's run this. What you will see is that it has run. And at this point, if I reload this here, you will see that I should have all of these requirements that are getting generated. So you'll start seeing I have all of these requirements. What is also interesting is GPTfy is now automatically looking at these requirements, and it's essentially going against our AI and RAG model to one by one just essentially start answering these. So you can already start seeing that these are starting to come here. If I refresh, you should see a whole bunch more. So it'll continue to do this asynchronously, and you can have 150 or 200 or whatever number of RFP questions you have, and it's trying to do that. And it's looking at them, and you can see for some, it knows that the answer is yes. For some, it doesn't know, and it's saying, I don't know the answer. So let's take a look at one of these requirements and the response to it. So the question is it Salesforce native solution? And yes, GPTfy is a Salesforce native solution. But how did it arrive at this answer? Let's take a look under the hood. I'm going to rerun this prompt. Initially, this was automated, so it all ran. Now I'm going to run this manually. So when I click this button, GPTfy takes this information, sends it to an AI model, which in turn is connected to a RAG, and it gets back a response. And you can see that it has a response here for us. So let's see what happened under the hood here. What you start to see is that this is the context. This is what we had sent, right? And this is the response we got back. And what you're starting to see here is that the RAG looked at our internal storage. So we use Google Cloud storage for this. This is a Google RAG. And it looked at the PDF and it found the answer there. It also looked at our knowledge base that's running on our website, and it found the answer there. And it's also looked at some other documents. And what you're seeing is how easily you're bringing all of these unstructured data from different places. So whether you have AWS bucket or Azure cloud storage or SharePoint folders, or you have your knowledge bases, you may have Salesforce knowledge articles, and we sync all of that. GPTfy will sync it with your RAG. The point is, if you have this data curated and refined and well put together, a RAG model can basically look at the question, answer it. And that's what it's got here. And based on those answers, it has generated this formatted response. And that's what we were looking at here. So I'm going to go back to OP so that we can take another look at this. Essentially, what you're seeing is that this has completely automated this, and it has gone through all of this. For a particular question, it didn't have an answer. So if I go here, it's like looking at it, it's going, hey, we don't have sales assistant. And again, at GPTfy, we don't have this term sales assistant anywhere. That's why it's saying, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's what you really want to do. You want your RAG model and your AI and this entire solution to be locked down so that it's not hallucinating. It's not coming up with answers, and whatever it's giving is fairly factual. And the idea is you can then use all of this and basically start collaborating on it. So literally in a matter of few seconds, we have a whole bunch of answers that you're looking at. And you start with this draft version. There is obviously going to be some collaboration. There may be multiple back and forth on it. You may have a whole approval lifecycle. But instead of starting from scratch and having somebody manually do it, you have right off the bat done this in 5 to 10 minutes versus probably a couple of days or hours or weeks or whatever it is. So I hope this is useful. Let me know if you have any questions on this. Thank you so much.